Gina. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here and can't wait to chat more about working from a place of rest with you. So before we dive into talking about that, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and just how you got started doing it all.
Hey, Jenny, thank you for having me. So, a little bit, I guess, about my business is, I'll kind of blend it all. So, I am a former corporate project manager, and that's what I did. I climbed the corporate ladder swiftly in the 7 years that I was in the corporate realm. And actually, in 2012, I started a blog from my cubicle in corporate hell. So that's kind of how I got started. And then I've always kind of been obsessed with the space. And then earlier this year in February 2017, I started really getting serious about monetizing and really building an online business and taking my skill set and my education to the online realm. So I also have a master's degree in project management. So I was like, well, I'm sure I can help other people. And as I came into the space, I started discovering the world of coaching because I was only interested in creating e-courses and things like that, and just e-trainings. I hadn't heard of coaching until I started really digging deeper into the space. So that's kind of how I got started. And as I have been in the space and around people, and talking to other people, my skills are turning more into helping people, taking the project management skills and helping people streamline their business where they actually have the time freedom and lifestyle freedom that they're wanting. And then also actually helping them have ethical business practices that will help them last for the long haul. So I don't work with people that are in the get rich quick headspace because of the universe type thing. I don't do that. I actually help people truly build a foundation and a real business that will last and can ebb and flow. So that's a little about my business and what I do and how I got started.
I actually started my blog from my cubicle as well. So I've noticed over the past couple interviews that I've been doing, a lot of people have that same foundation and story, which is really cool because, we all need a little inspiration when we're working in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And that was a good outlet for me and you, of course.
Yeah. Well, obviously, most of us that are in the online business space are a little creative. So I'm never surprised when when somebody says, oh, I had started with a blog. Like, girl, me too. Like, we had to do something.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was working in oil and gas when I first started. So
see, I was in IT.
Definitely needed something that was a little more creative and not so bland. But yeah, so project management. So like, what do you like to use for tools or anything like that?
Well, my favorite, okay, so that's hilarious that you asked me that because I am a bit of a tech nerd. So I have tried a lot, but just because I just wanted to use and compare because I was genuinely curious and I'm a nerd and just want to know. So for email marketing, my favorite, I started with this one, then got away from it, and now I'm back to it, and this is where I'll stay. I love Active Campaign. But if you don't have the budget for Active Campaign, which is really not that expensive, it's like $9 a month if you only have 500 subscribers on your list. I mean, it's really not bad, but I mean, some people don't want to use that. So the next option I would use would be MailerLite, and that's just because of the landing page option. That's my favorite free option that's out there. I'm not a MailChimp fan. I have tried 1,000 times and I just cannot get with it. So I would recommend MailerLite if you're looking for a free option. And then if you're looking for a paid option, I would go with Active Campaign. ConvertKit is great. I used it and I liked it, but I just feel like Active Campaign is just a little bit more superior. And that's just, so for that, I love that. For project management and task tracking, I tried both Asana and Trello, and both are equally great. I just like Asana better. They do the same things. I just like Asana a little better. I think Asana is a little better for teams. So that's kind of, but it's just preference. Either or really works. It's complete preference. Whatever works for you, use it. But I prefer Asana. Let's see, other favorite tools. I actually, my graphic design tool, everything that I create my workbooks and stuff in is Microsoft PowerPoint.
Hmm. That's a new one. Usually everyone's all about the Adobe tools, but
Mm-mm. Because of where I was at in corporate, I did a lot of technical writing and that sort of thing. I had to build a lot of, like process docs, and you just like it, like unless you work for a design firm like advertising, you don't have access to Adobe. They use all Microsoft products. So I used PowerPoint to build all of my process documentation and all of that in corporate. So I just transferred. It's an amazing design tool, and you can export to PDF, and it works just the same. So I always recommend people use that one. I really like it a lot. So that's my favorite design tool. I love Camtasia for recording all of my screen flows, and that's just because it also doubles as a video editing software, so I can actually edit whatever it is that I just recorded. So I like that too. It's not terribly expensive, but it is a paid program, and you can also export the audio, so you can kill like 5 birds with one stone if you wanted to, using that one. Let's see some other favorite tools. Let's see. Those are the ones that I reach for them. I love Evernote too. I use that quite a bit. And then Zoom obviously is pretty freaking fantastic. And those are the main tools that I reach for all the time. I love Recur Post for scheduling posts onto Facebook, and it's free and it does post recycling. So I greatly enjoy that. Yeah, and those are the things that I use consistently.
so we use a few of the same tools.
Yeah.
I did both Asana and Trello, and I can't seem to pick a favorite. So I use
Yeah.
Asana for my team, and then Trello for just stuff that only pertains to me. And it works for the time being, but yeah, I could probably be a little more streamlined with the way that I do that. But yeah, and you've mentioned some good tools. Recupera's is really good because it's free. I use SmarterQ, but it's paid. But yeah,
Yeah.
just being able to recycle posts is amazing and saves a lot
Yeah,
of time.
it is huge. So that's yeah. I know that it, like, a lot of people say that you shouldn't pre-schedule your posts or anything like that because it loses organic reach. But here is my opinion on that. And it works for me, and it works for my clients, and it works for other people that I've talked to. And here's the thing is, with the way that Facebook algorithms are working these days, you can put the same post out there 10 times and 10 different people are going to see it. Like, it's not going to consistently, like, people aren't going to consistently see it. You know what I mean? Unless it's somebody that interacts on your stuff a lot, and then just based on algorithm, that's going to show up on their newsfeed a lot. But then again, like, they might not have seen that post that day. So it's constantly getting in front of new people. And if you wrote the post when you were in an inspired state and there was all that good energy and stuff behind it, so we'll tap on a little bit of the woo that people talk about a lot. So if that good energy is already behind it when you wrote it, and then that people are still going to pick up on that, even if it's being recycled. So, I mean, you're still going to get the organic reach that you're wanting. You're just being smarter with your time. That's
Exactly.
all that it is.
I totally agree. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't able to automate certain parts of my business. I'd be working around the clock, and that's not beneficial for anyone. So definitely
Yeah.
good to schedule things out, and it shouldn't have a negative connotation,
No.
but it does.
No. Well, it's not a sin.
Yeah.
And, like, here's the thing is, you know, you can have creating the time freedom that you want to create. You have to learn how to work smarter. And in some of that's reusing a lot of what it is that you've already done. So, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I just don't understand why so many people are so against it. But to each their own. If you want to be glued to the friggin' computer 24/7, then that's fine. Have at it. That do you. But yeah, but I don't have that kind of time. I have all my entire family lives out of state. I am married. I still work a part-time corporate job. I'm currently helping a local chemical company completely streamline their entire office. So I do that part-time. And then I have two dogs, I have a Frenchie. And if you don't have a Frenchie, let me explain to you what that's like. It's essentially like having a 2-year-old. So like they destroy everything. So like I do not have time. And then my audience is constantly requesting things out of me. Like my girls have put in so many requests. I'm busy with content creation through the end of the year, trying to get these things out for them. Like there's a planner that I promised them that I would have created by December 1st. So like I have to work on that, and I lose 6 hours out of my day. So like I don't have time to be sitting there like playing on Facebook all day long. I got other stuff to do. So like, and sometimes I don't even get to like my messages until 5.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, so I need my message. I need content getting out there, and I don't have time. Like I don't have time to stop. So like, but whatever. I mean, if other people want to, that's fine.
So, how I mentioned in the beginning, kind of talking about working from a place of rest. So, what
Mm-hmm.
does that mean to you? Like, how do you go about that in your daily life?
So working from a place of rest to me is so there is a huge like hustling is the trend these days, like the Gary V like eat shit until like for 12 hours a day type thing to become a millionaire. Like which okay, but you'll suffer from burnout quickly doing that. And what I mean by that is you're grinding from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. And you're not listening to your body. You're not feeding your mind. You're not like giving yourself an opportunity to regroup. And when you're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, you cut off all creative flow. So any new downloads that you could get, any new thing that could come to you, it's completely blocked off from the fact that you are so focused on pushing through, and even when you're tired. So working from a place of rest to me is creating the space in your day and in your business to get to do self-care type activities. And some of self-care type activities is actually just spending time with your partner. You know what I mean? Like, but you don't have time for that if you're like, oh my God, I have to get like, I have this extremely strict schedule, and I've time blocked everything out. And, like you don't fall within this purple time block. So I'm just, cause I've blocked this time off for XYZ, and that it just doesn't work that way. That's how you end up exhausted. That's how you end up spinning your wheels. That's how you end up double working or triple working yourself. And to me, what my day looks like currently, which right now I'm in an adjustment period since I'm working with this new company. But to me, it looks like I get up, I do like my morning routine, whatever that may be, like I do some work, I stop, I take care of my house, I go run an errand, I play with my dogs. My husband gets home. We sit down, like that is a rule in my house, is we have to sit down and have a meal together at the end of the day. To reconnect, because I'm off doing my own thing. I'm out here building an empire, and and then he's doing whatever it is he's doing. So like I have created that space. That is one of my non-negotiables, is we have to sit down at the table, no phones, no TV. We're sitting at the table in the kitchen sharing the meal. And if I were grinding 24/7, like constantly focused on the hustle, that would not be happening. So my marriage would suffer. So essentially working from the place of rest, just to summarize it, is designing your life and your day around the things that matter the most to you. And 2 of those things should be your partner / family, and yourself. So that's what working from a place of rest is to me. Because if those are priority and those take precedence, You design everything else to fit into that box, not my work and my business come before everything else, and then everything falls to the wayside. So I think people just have their priorities out of whack.
And I would have to agree. I mean, I am still in the beginning processes of, trying to find a schedule that works best for me and, my husband and I also have a dog. So being able to make time for myself and, time to spend with my husband has been difficult, but it's something I know that I need to get under lock, because I don't want my relationships and my own self-care to suffer because of the glorified hustle.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. Let me help you a little bit.
Um, like what
Then
about?
just tell me, what's your biggest hang up?
For me, really, it's just, being able to turn off. Like, I just feel like I don't feel like I need to be working 24/7 in terms of like my clients aren't like, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. It's more like I push myself to work a lot. It's self-motivated work, aholic syndrome.
Okay, I was like that. And that's actually not, you're normal, just so you know. Most of us entrepreneurs are recovering alcoholics, recovering workaholics. Maybe some of us are alcoholics. I don't know, depending on, but recovering workaholics. So that's a mindset thing. So, and if you're anything like me, you need a visual. So I actually have a timer on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I have do not disturb set on my phone. And I have a nighttime routine that begins at 7 p.m.
Okay.
So I am shut off at 7 p.m. My phone goes on. My phone will go on do not disturb at 8 because I have family out of state and they're a time zone in a different time zone.
Okay.
So I don't want to miss anything from them. So what I do is every night at 7 p.m. I start the same routine. That is, I clean up the kitchen from dinner. I sit down and I watch TV with my husband for a little bit because that's his way of unwinding. Sometimes I'm just sitting on the couch and I have my headphones in and I'm reading my Kindle, but we're together. Mm-hmm. So we're in the same space. We're just doing different things, but we're together. And, I'll do that for about an hour. And then usually around 8 o'clock or between 8 and 8:30, my little ass goes upstairs to my bathroom and I take a shower, take a bath, do my skincare routine, and I start winding down. Put on lavender, turn my diffuser on, whatever it may be, and I do my complete skincare routine, and then I crawl in the bed. And I'll either continue reading or not. But I have a set hard bedtime of I am in the bed between 9 and 9:30. And usually by then my husband has unwound and he's come upstairs, and then we sit in the bed and we just talk. And we visit for anywhere to 30 minutes or so until our eyes start getting heavy, and then we go to sleep. But because I have established that routine for myself, my body starts getting tired and my brain shuts off because I have that routine and it recognizes the sensory stuff. So you just have to have a non-negotiable hard stop and a routine that you begin every night. So, mine is bringing my house back to ready, getting in the shower, spending some time with my husband, that's how you shut it off. Because also by putting your phone on do not disturb, you're not getting any notifications that are going to distract you and bring you back to it.
That's true. So I know this is weird, but I keep my phone on do not disturb all day because I hate it constantly vibrating from emails and stuff. And I'll check it like every so often, but that kind of helps me stay focused on what I need to be doing at that point in time.
That's awesome. So you already have a good start.
Yeah. I have a bit of a foundation, and like at night, me and my husband he'll usually, the new Call of Duty game came out. So he's really into that. So he'll play that and I'll hang out on my computer. We'll be on the couch together, doing our own separate things. So we have that down.
You have a good foundation. Then it's just one more slight tweak and you'll be fine. And then some of it's just breaking a habit.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that I really just can't go to bed. Like, it's just really hard for me. And my husband, his head hits the pillow, he's out. Me,
I'm the same way. That's why I had to start diffusing essential oils.
okay.
Like I diffuse the Serenity blend from doTERRA,
Okay.
and then I also rub it on my chakra line, on my wrists, and
Mhm.
behind my ears, so I'm continuously smelling it, and it helps me fall asleep.
I've heard good things about that. I've just never
Mm-hmm.
tried it for myself. I actually used one of the calming oils on my dog because he used to be really hyper. And there's like the dog version of it, and that worked for him, but I've never actually tried it for myself. I've only diffused them. I've never like used them on my skin or things like that.
Yeah, I would like that's what I had to start doing. So I would start falling asleep. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. I don't use a carrier oil. You're kind of supposed to, so you should put it in like coconut oil or something
Mhm.
before you put it on your skin. But I don't, and it hasn't bothered me. I put peppermint on my husband though, and he claims it burnt his throat and he couldn't swallow the rest of the day. But I think he's just being overly dramatic. So
Typical mom,
it's
right?
right, exactly, a big baby. So yeah, I would definitely start diffusing some essential oils though. I think that would definitely help because I was the same way. I could not turn my brain off. And then also start focusing on your breathing, and
Uh-huh.
that'll help knock you out too, because that's something I had to do because I won't shut off. Like I have no off button.
No, me neither. It's
Yeah,
like,
I don't. So I had to start finding ways to push the button.
do you guys like not watch TV in the bedroom or anything like that either?
I do not allow a TV in my bedroom. He tried to put one in there and I took it right back out. And
That's smart.
there is a dent in my wall in my hallway to prove it because it was a 48 or 49-inch TV. I'm 5'1". Like I'm petite. I am the size of a 10-year-old. So I had to get it out by myself because he refused to take it out. He thought he was going to mount it on the wall. No, I do not allow TVs in my bedroom.
That's really smart
TV,
though, because
yeah.
I feel like that's what keeps me up. I'm like, oh, one more
Well,
episode.
it's yeah. Well, that's it. Is you're stimulating yourself, and the bedroom is meant for 2 to 3 things, and so that's a sacred space, and
Hmm.
you need to protect that space. That needs to be a calming space. Like when you walk in your bedroom, you need to feel calm. It needs to like no TV, none yet. Have none TV, like no digital, like really a lot of people like I use my phone as an alarm.
Uh-huh.
um but and it's only because like the analog alarm that I had, my friend, she tried to eat it when it went off one morning. It was a very traumatic event. And but most people, like most studies even say to leave your phone like downstairs, like put
Yeah.
it in a different room, like don't even have no electronics in your bedroom.
Yeah.
That is something that studies are coming out with, and I would like to do that myself, but like I said, she tried to eat my alarm, and after that I just changed my mind.
Yeah, my husband actually puts it in our bathroom, which is like attached to our room, but it's not in the exact same room. So he'll get up and get it in the morning because otherwise he won't get out of bed because he'll just turn it off and go back to bed. But yeah,
Yeah,
that works too because he puts it over there and climbs in the bed and then doesn't have the temptation to get up and go get on it. So definitely
yeah,
helps him wind down. I think I just need to implement that for myself.
yeah. You just need to find different things that work for you that help you turn off. But I swear by essential oils. Like my life has been changing drastically since I've made them a actual part of my day, instead of just like one off, like here or there, but actually like really using them has dramatically changed everything for me.
Yeah, I have some, but I don't use them as frequently as I could. So definitely
Yeah.
need to add that to my to-do list. Um, so what are your 2 or 3 tips to really just cut the hustle and just, implement a place of rest that will work for, a variety of different people?
So my top tip is get intentional. Everything you do needs to have a purpose. You don't need to be doing things just for the sake of doing them. If you are able, And there are things that are administrative that, there are some things that you need to do. Obviously you need to engage. Obviously you need to post on social media. Obviously when you want to like promote something, you need to have a landing page. There are some things that you need to do, but if you hate them that much and you are able, hire a VA and pass them off. But at the end of the day, everything you need to do needs to have purpose, and you don't need to just be pulling things out of the sky and doing them for the sake of doing them. There needs to be a reason behind everything that you're doing. And when you bring that intention into your business, you'll notice that your workload will lighten, because you're not trying to do 50 billion things at once because you think this is what you're supposed to be doing to be successful. And then the second thing is pick one thing that you are working towards, and that needs to be your focus. So every task that you're doing has the purpose and intention behind getting you to that one thing, whatever it may be. And I could really dig down deep into that, but I shall not, because it'll turn into a lot. But basically, have your one thing that you're working for. But I will say this, do not give yourself unrealistic deadlines either. So if you're like, oh, I can do this in a week, give yourself 2. So that way you're not like, and then if you get it done in a week, hell yeah, that's awesome. If you don't and it takes you 2 weeks, at least you're not freaking out that you didn't get it done in that timeline. So that's how you start incorporating a restful intention into work.
And I'm really guilty of doing 1,000 things at once. I try to set a couple, like 2 or 3 different things to accomplish each day, 2 small or 1 regular sized task, so that I'm not kind of going all over the place. But sometimes my day just takes a turn and I have to do a lot of things, and I have to shift my mindset to the different things that require my attention at that point in time. But
yeah,
like when you have days like that, how do you kind of get past that?
well, there are days that are nothing but putting out fires. That happens, and there is no getting around it. And anybody that tells you that there is lying to you. Some days are just like that. So if you have brought that intention into your business and, which has lightened your workload, then it's okay. Like if you aren't giving yourself unrealistic expectations and you're not trying to rush and be in a hurry, because quality work cannot be rushed. So if you are realistically working and doing everything that you need to do, and also planning for days that go awry, like that's risk mitigation. Like that it's going to happen, so you should kind of have everything like set up in a way where there's room for when that happens. Then it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Like nobody, like we're not brain surgeons. Nobody is dying. Like nothing is going to blow up. Like nobody is going to get hurt. All that it is going to delay a schedule a day. So if you've planned for that risk, then it's no biggie. Just make sure you've planned for that. Don't have everything. This is why I hate time blocking. I hate time blocking. I hate SMART goals. Like they don't serve their purpose as they should. So just make sure you've mitigated for risk, which means you've planned for at least 1 to 2 days in the month where it hits the fan.
Yeah. And another thing I've noticed is the days that I'll set aside 1 or 2 days a month to, batch content and things like that. And I feel like those are helpful too in keeping on task, so I can get a ton of blog posts done, or like any miscellaneous admin tasks that I need to get done, like, accounting stuff. It really helps to kind of keep me on track and not be like, oh, I need to do this right now because I haven't focused on it all month. And it cuts into other things that I should have been doing that day.
Yeah. So that's where having a content library also comes in and is really, really, really handy. And the post recycling as well, because And also content repurposing. So if you've done like live videos, or, you know, there's something else that you've done, you can probably create a blog post off of it too. So there are ways to like even streamline that even further. So yeah, so I don't have batch days. I used to. I don't now. Just because I have such a huge library. I'm not a blogger. I don't blog anymore.
Okay.
So I, I should probably start again, but I don't want to. So that saves me a ton of time, you know, like, and then I just I do live video like crazy. Like for some reason, that is my favorite thing. I go live in my Facebook group or on my personal page daily, almost.
I've
like
seen this before. You're a content creating machine with video for sure.
I am. I'm just a content machine. Like I can churn out trainings like you wouldn't believe. Like I love them. I love it. So like so, you know, that's where mine comes in, and then I just repurpose those lives, and I can get 10 different things out of one live video. So, and that's how I save myself a ton of time.
And that's awesome. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. You need to kind of get some kind of strategy, because I blog, but then I also do lives, and now I'm here podcasting. So I just need to get a workflow going for all those different things. I used to blog twice a week, but now I know. Now I have a ton of posts, so I kind of have cut back down to once a week. So it's not as overwhelming, and I have time to do other things like work on this podcast. But it's really just all about being able to find your balance, whether you like live video, you like blog posts, you want to do YouTube, just pick one and go with it.
Yeah, and focus on that, and let that be like, you don't like have to blog if you don't want to, if you just enjoy. And then like also you can take your live video and do a tiny little write-up on it and stick it on the blog, and then now you have a blog post and a live video. And then you can email about it. So I mean, like it's all about, you're right, it's just about finding the balance, but it's also about doing what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Create content in the format that you like love. Like you can't get enough of it. Like something pops up your head and you're like, oh my God, I have to go create a video on this, or I have to go create a blog post on this, or I need to podcast on this topic. Like whatever it is that you just get so excited to do, that needs to be your main focus of content creation. Like I think that people, again, get way deep in the weeds and think they should be periscoping and Instagram living and then Facebook living and emailing and Facebook posts and blog posts, and oh my God, I need a nap thinking about it.
And I'm definitely guilty of that. At some point I've tried to do everything, but you need to kind of figure out what you like the best and stick with that. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's two things, but just the things that translate the best for you and your audience. For you, I think you do really well on video. You're very dynamic, so
Thanks.
Your audience is attracted to that. You know, for me, I'm not hesitant on video, but I just prefer either voice or text. So that's kind of what I stick to, although I'll do live streams every so often or things like this. It's not my place of comfort, so it's not where I gravitate towards. But with you and what you're doing and coaching and things like that, I think it's essential to have live video because it really helps build that factor.
Yeah, well, it humanizes me.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just like a robot churning out text.
No, it humanizes. And the other thing is I've been informed I have a sassy, fiery personality, and occasionally something can really poke me and I rant. Yeah. Which I try to not do, but that does happen, and for some reason people enjoy that. I don't know why. I don't enjoy it. I'm not having fun with it, but you know, I mean, that's just the way that it kind of flows out. But you know, you find, and then also when you find your one or two things that you want to stick with, it becomes more streamlined and you get really, really good at getting it out, where it doesn't take you as long. But if you are trying to do all the things, it's kind of like becoming like, the saying where I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm a
Mhm.
master of none.
Yeah.
That's the direction that's the space that you're heading in when you try and do a bunch of different crap at one time instead of focusing on one or two things. So 1 to 2 things is really great advice.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Feel free to tell everyone where they can find you, your website, social media channels, even your Facebook group.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm so happy to be here. This was fun. I've enjoyed talking about it. The time has flown. You can find me. My website is GinaLambert.com. My Facebook group is Strategy and Soul, and I do free trainings in there almost daily, like we were just talking about. So those are the two. And then I have an Instagram, but I don't use it. But I have one, and you can, that's also, Gina like underscore Lambert, because apparently there are a bunch of Gina Lamberts out there. That you can find me on Instagram. I should probably start using it. So yeah, I mean, and that's those are really the places that you can find me. I'm pretty simple, pretty easy to find. Facebook group, website, and yeah, that's really it. I have a business page, but I don't use that either. All of my content goes into my group.
Well, it helps you streamline everything by keeping it in that one spot. I have all the social channels and all the promotions on all the social channels, so it can definitely be a little crazy. But yeah, I'll link all of her links in the show notes so you guys can check them out. And yeah, um, I love chatting with you and have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.